Welcome to Memoirs of a Fitness Trainer podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Tullis, joined by my forever co-host, the one and the only Mr. Tyler Johnson. Say hello to the now ever-growing audience.
What up, ever-growing audience? I don't know where ever-growing is. I hope it's not in Canada.
It's on YouTube. That's okay. You can search us for us there. But guys, we have a fantastic topic. It's a little near and dear to Tyler and I's hearts because we're going through it right now. And that is the topic of losing clients as a personal trainer. And it doesn't matter how long you do this, how good you are, you will have people that leave you for any number of reasons, whether that's from financial or they just don't like your face. Things happen. And training's a very interesting world with that. So today, Tyler and I are going to discuss essentially how to navigate that world, how to not let that kind of mess with you emotionally, and really how do you pick yourself up and move forward from it. So Tyler, how you doing, bud? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while, even though I know it's only been like 3 or 4 days. How's life?
It's been like a definite week. My energy has been a little bit lower this week. Just been off. I think it's kind of like that mental prepness for being off for a week because next week I'll be in Tahoe for the entire time. So I'm kind of like already, I almost have like that senioritis where I'm just like ready for like the vacation, like ready for the spirit. And I've got a lot of clients who have left my schedule. So it's been a lot of like trying to ramp up at the same time I'm leaving for a week. So it's like it's chaos in the head. But outside of that, dude, life's beautiful. I'm waking up every morning, fitness is going really well. Lifts have been great. So as long as I can keep my food intake and my workouts going well, I am consistently growing, at least in my own personal life. Financial life will be a little bit, blunted, but it happens for naturally for our industry, especially in the trainer's lifestyle. We get our ups, we get our downs. They
Oh
come in
yeah.
waves. But I got a really cool surprise today, which I don't even think you've noticed yet. Um,
Oh, I noticed. I was waiting for you to let me know about it. Tell me too.
okay, dude. Yeah, well, the Fourth Set Fitness brand t-shirts. So t-shirts and hoodies and this. My marketer dude, he just came in with them today. So shout out to Cameron. That is not his name. That's what I call him. His name is Zach. But yeah, he just came in.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to do an episode on what Force Set Fitness is at some point in time and the
Oh,
benefits and and downsides of merch. But
yeah.
dude, I can't do that. This shirt looks good. I like
Yeah. Yep.
that little fonting you got going on there. Is that raised or is that stitched in?
That is brace. So it's just kind of on. These are just like the temp shirts. So this is just to kind of try it out, see if I like the style, and then it's
Dude,
gonna
looks
get put
nice.
on. Uh, but yeah, my first client for Four Set Fitness actually met with this week, and we'll be signing on for 10 sessions. So that will be my first external into the business revenue. I've still got to get a contract out to this person, so I've got to get contracts made. So that was one factor I did not pre-prep for. Learning, got to have contracts ready to roll.
Contracts, terms and conditions, definitely get your liability waiver set with cancellation policies. Took me a few months of getting slapped in the teeth with that one to figure that out.
Yeah.
And always put money away for taxes early on. Don't wait till the end like certain people do,
Mm,
because those checks really hurt a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm after
Yeah, I dig
writing.
it, man.
I'm writing off a lot of my the house, the garage space, this space, part of my living room for shooting content. So writing off as much as I can for the living expenditure for the business. And since it's registered as the property address for the business, it'd be quite easy to do. But we'll see how much I can get. Outside of that, dude, it's been a very great week. Give me your update. How you been, man?
Well, today I lost 3 clients, about $3,000 a month of revenue. So, that's fun. Certainly makes me very grateful for my other sources of income and how the other businesses are doing. Because in-person personal training is, well, I love it. It's my identity as a person. I am a trainer, but man, are some weeks better than others.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, fitness is going great. I'm Dude, I'm excited for next week to go hang out with you up in Tahoe, and then after that, I'm off to Cabo to make every bad decision I could think to make, and maybe a couple others that I can't quite imagine yet. I'm definitely ready to have some
Wow.
time that's not productive. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, your days are filled like 12 to 16 hours of your own self-will and just determination. So,
Self-will and self-loathing mostly, but yeah, we're here, we're kicking it, and I'm on the cast with you here, so I'm gonna shrug it off how today went, and yeah, fun stuff.
yeah. So, I mean, just to brush up on our topic, right? So, for those who aren't aware, trainers aren't guaranteed a full schedule, right? And initially off the start, for anybody who's been a fresh trainer, been like straight off the block, we do not have anything, especially if you've moved to a new area. You're
Nothing.
starting you're starting off at a gym, a club where nobody knows you, nobody respects you. You are just the new guy. It's like being at a new school. Yeah, people are interested to see the new face. You might have some of the old members that have been going to the club for 15, 20 odd years that have been continuous members like, hey, we've seen guys like you come in and out. They might come chat you up really quick, but it's up to you to kind of prove yourself. Now, as you start to grow steadily, like I give my current scenario, like because I'm more recent in the idea of joining a new studio, it took me the first 3 months of grinding out, of grinding, showing up as many hours as I can, taking clients almost like out inside or outside of my hours and just trying to just push myself in front of people to get to a point where now I can say like I had a client who was like, "Oh, I can't make our 2 o'clock appointment today on a Friday. Can you make it at 4?" And I'm like, I don't like four o'clock traffic driving back from the Bay Area. That's going to be a no. We can meet on Saturday if you're available." But being able to have that like that kind of like that boundary, like because I don't need to stress, and that person's like, "Hey, you're shifting the time on me. I will make it available for you." But like that's kind of like what you get as an evolved trainer. But let's get back to the schedule. Like the
Evolved trainer. I like that. It was what is it? Bulbasaur, and then it was Ivysaur, and then what was I don't know why I chose like the hardest one to remember, like the
yeah, you
three
really did.
evolutions.
Yeah, why didn't you just go Charmander? Like
I have no
Charizard.
idea.
Like
I choose difficulty sometimes. I don't know what to tell you.
really. Yeah, really. I mean, so much easier. Okay. So yeah, evolved. Yeah, I've kind of leveled up in a sense. I mean, I've reached the top trainer at my club in the most sales and recorded sessions in the month, and I've held that for a good 2 or 3 months now. But that's small brag. Realistically, my goals for myself would be much higher than even where I'm at. I feel like if I had more pressure of better trainers kind of around, well, not better. I have really good trainers. But I mean, if I had more competitive trainers around me, I'd probably be a little bit higher because competition really drives me.
Like how you phrased that, by the way. Competitive. I would have gone more successful, but I'm also a unbridled asshole. So, there's that
Yeah.
part.
Well,
Uh,
everybody's level of success is different for themselves,
yeah.
right? Somebody's level of success could be 50 sessions a week, and maybe they bartend outside. Like, hey, I don't want to push anymore. They can only handle that, a good 6 or 7 people because that's what their threshold of success is. Then there's like my level or your level of success where it's like, if I'm not busting 100 sessions a month, then I feel like I'm an epic failure. And I'm trying to like get to that level and maintain. But more on to so of our topic. So now you are a trainer who has evolved. You have a set schedule. You're busting out these 80 to 100 sessions, but a lot of the times it's because you found clients that are willing to stick with you,
Yeah.
right? Some of them are just people that just like they love you as a person, they love you as a trainer. They will not leave you. They don't want to leave you. Like you want to eventually have them evolve and grow and yes, take the information on their own. But let's think a little bit more realistic for our timeline and budget. We don't want to do lead gen every other month for 3 or 4 people because our schedules are constantly emptying out. Like
Yeah.
that'd be
Y-
more of like a group training atmosphere, right? Personal training atmosphere, like we've talked about before, somebody could be in front of me for an hour every single day for 3 years. They still would not know like to do as much movements as I'd want them to do. So the longer they can stay on, awesome. If they can stay a minimum of 3 months, perfect. They can take some of that knowledge. Most of the time, we're looking at 6 months to a year. So
Yeah, it's what you shouldn't necessarily only look at a trainer from their acquisition standpoint, but from their attrition. So, how long will someone stay with you in business? Because, like with most things in business, it's what easier to get people than easier to keep people than it is to get new customers.
yeah,
And I do believe that's so true because we do want to keep people forever, but that's just not how life works. I mean, financial situations change, people reach goals. And quite frankly, sometimes people just don't want to do training anymore. Like one of my people today was like, "Hey, you've been really helpful and I learned so much, but I just don't like meeting with someone to do training." It's like, "Oh, well, that sucks, but that's nothing personal against me, or at least I'm hoping it was nothing personal against me." You never really know in customer service, right? But sometimes people just it's just not their thing. They just don't like meeting for people for workouts. Like me personally, if I had to meet with someone 2, 3 times a week for training,
yeah,
that's not my happy place. I wouldn't want to do that, which is kind of ironic being a facilitator on the other side of it, as a trainer. But
yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
That's the equal side of it. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. But here's a question for you. Walk me through
So,
your emotions that you typically go through. Like if you had to give me a highlight of how your emotions as reacting when this person didn't give you a heads up, right? This was just
mhm.
in the moment,
Nothing.
either at the beginning or like after your training session. Walk me through kind of like what was your emotions around that? Like how did that make you feel as a trainer? What was your initial thoughts? How are you kind of reacting to it?
Well, I'll kind of break it down. It's something I talk to my clients a lot about where I have three identities as a person. I have Ryan, the trainer, the coach, like all business, very just focused in, but it's still pretty empathetic. There's Ryan, the athlete. There is no empathy. We're just going to do the thing that we need to do. I don't care how much it sucks. We're just going to do it. And then there's me as a person. Me as a person, I tend to be a little bit more emotional and a little bit more empathetic and just I feel a lot more sensitivity and security as just like again me as Ryan the person. So I kind of take it through all three of those spectrums when someone says something to me like or they quit with me. Where all right, if I know I did everything right, Ryan the trainer, the coach, he's good. He doesn't need anything more. We have business, some money coming in elsewhere. I'll find a way to fill that time. I know I'm going to find a new client. Not a big deal. Ryan, the athlete, kind of just wants to say, fuck him. It's fine. Like, whatever, you're going to go on to your other thing. I'm going to move on. I have other things to focus on. You're no longer part of my world. Again, Ryan, the athlete's kind of a dick. Me as a person, you feel hurt. You feel rejected like a friend or someone you were out on a date with just doesn't want to go out on a second date with you. It's
Oh,
almost like getting broken up with. You're like this shouldn't hurt me. Like logically this is nothing, but aw,
right.
my
I like
friend doesn't want to see me anymore.
I like that analogy. The person like you went on a date with, like just right at the end of it, like you've had a good time, everything, and they just blatantly be like, "Yeah, so like I don't want to see you again, but adios." Like
Yeah,
that's so mean. That'd be so blunt right
that's
to the
so
face.
brutal. But
That's
that's what
pretty
it feels
brutal.
like. You feel like you're getting broken up with or rejected. And that's when
Yeah.
you kind of have to choose what side of you that you lean towards. Is it you as a trainer who should be very professional, should have a calloused mind, or is it you as who you are as an individual, which people are people. We hurt, we do things, we respond to things in illogical, emotional ways. And I mean, personally, after 14 years of my career, I've never figured out an efficient way to not have me as a person feel almost rejected and hurt from that.
Right.
Except with like leaning into me as a coach. I mean, what do you feel when you go through things like that? I mean, do you go through something similar or like what's the train of thought?
Mm, it really depends on like the situation of the person leaving too. Right? So somebody who's leaving a little bit too early, that maybe you have like an ideal, like, hey, like this is where I wanted to get you to. You're stopping this program. That's where like it builds a little resentment because I'm like, dude, we have so much more work to do. Like
Yes.
you might be feeling like you're ready to roll, but you're not. Like I definitely wanted you to like sit and have more help. Then there's some other people. Some people I don't want to be too specific. I had a person on my schedule, very talkative. Yes, she enjoyed the sessions. It really worked out for me to be able to help her. She took a lot of the information and she was very, I helped her a lot with being still motivated towards fitness, but she wasn't necessarily like driven towards her fitness goals. It was just kind of like more like have a buddy to be there with. So in that scenario, when somebody's leaving, it's like, okay, it was great. Me as a trainer, like the person, my next clientele that I'm looking to fill that hour is going to be, because especially since it was like right in the morning, I want somebody who's like, this is what I want. I want to go for this. I'm going to find people. Now I get to go back into that scheduled hour and say, like, I'm going to find somebody to fill this gap that they want to work hard towards a goal. Like, I want you to grind it out. Or I might even start like a little small group and have like three people and be like, hey, we're going to bust ass in the morning. And then wait for like my 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock people. And like, that's kind of like the more, hey, you want to relax and chill out and talk it out. That's planning my day accordingly with the emotional response that I know I can flow with, right? Starting in the morning with somebody who's kind of like really slow and talkative, that's like, that's where I'm most energetic. So
Oh,
that's a scenario, right?
dude, meeting a
Then there's
5
like,
a.m. client that just wants to like chill and is just like kind of going through the motions is like, dude, I need you to keep me awake right now. The cold brew is only doing so much. The focus and willpower is only going so far.
yeah,
Dude, like stop, like get after it. No, I completely agree with you.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean like that, and then there's like the third scenario, which we don't often experience, but it's somebody who's had a poor experience with us,
Yes.
who has decided like, hey, like this was not what I was looking for. So I had somebody like that recently. Mostly it was because of scheduling conflict. Is she was like trying to really find somebody who can meet with her 2 or 3 times a week, and it was gonna be after 5 o'clock for two of those times. I'm like, look, I can't. Like I'm already here from 7 a.m. until 4 o'clock at the latest. Like that is already past 8 hours. And then two of the days of the week, I'm also coaching at 45, so I don't get home until 8 o'clock on those days. That's a 13-hour day for me. It's like, I can't sit in 5 o'clock traffic and stick around for 2 hours after I've already trained everybody else just for one client. I won't do that. That's taking 4 hours of my time. You want to pay me 4 hours of time versus the 1 hour? Now we can start talking.
No,
You know,
I don't think you can be in front of people that long. I mean, I at 4 hours in a day of in-person training,
mm,
I'm tapped. I'm exhausted. Six, I'm gonna go home and hit my head against the wall. Like that's
yeah,
so exhausting. I couldn't imagine doing a 13-hour day and then, oh yeah, go home and drive in traffic for an hour each way. No, it's miserable, man.
no. I mean, when I'm saying 13 hours, I mean 13 hours that from where I clocked in to where I'm clocked out. I
Yeah.
mean, there's still the 45-minute drive in, getting up at 5 a.m. So it's like I'll leave the house by like 5:30. And so from 5:30 till 8 o'clock, I'm not home. That gives me a very short window where I can turn it around, eat, sleep, and go back and do it all again.
There's no point
Um,
leaving. I mean, you might as well just like put a cot in the trainer locker room at your
dude,
gym.
I've thought about it. There's a couple of these areas where you can push up on the ceiling boards, and I'm pretty sure I can create like a little rafter in there.
Dude, my first 60 day at Lifetime back in the day, like when
Yeah.
I was like first time running the show, like running the program, that I legitimately like went into Kathleen's office and like, hey, is there any chance I could just like fucking sleep here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here from like when we open to when we close. There's no point in me going home for like 6 hours.
Yeah. Like I'm honestly wasting more time driving home. I understand it's 20 minutes or 15 minutes. That's still a waste.
Still too much. Still too much
Still
at
too
that
much.
point.
Yeah. Did you end up doing it or no?
No, no. You think
Ah.
Lifetime was gonna let me sleep there? They're like, no, fucking go home, you psychopath. And I was like, all right, that's probably a smart decision. We could
Hmm.
avoid some of the burnout that I'm already going through. Got you.
Um, So those are kind of your emotional responses, like at the initial basis, right? Those are your three characters a person. All
Yeah,
right, so
that's
let's
that
go.
essentially defines me as a whole. I'm trying to fit a fourth character in there, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah,
But yeah,
let's
it's
get
just
into.
navigating the back and forth.
Yeah, I want to get into more like the business model side of it. Okay,
Mm,
so now how is your? This is your fourth phase for sure. This is the undertone of everything. Is it's got to be the business phase, right?
yeah.
How do you approach that business wise, right? So
Um,
let's say somebody immediately cancels with you. Are you immediately in lead gen mode? Do you kind of let it hang out? Like where is your mindset?
I would say at this point in my career, I'm probably a bad model for that. Because I'm just gonna let those slots be empty. It's fine. Like, let's move on. Like, that's revenue I'm gonna lose there. I'm just gonna go place that revenue into online coaching and take the time per week that I was spending with these three clients, and I'm gonna allocate that towards other projects and other things that I'm doing. But I guess to more answer your question, how I would, we'll deal with that in a bit. How I would navigate talking to a trainer about this would be to start immediately. You don't have a free hour next week. It's not like, oh, they're not going to be there. I've got a couple weeks to figure it out. No, start immediately. Start lead genning. Like the moment you get that phone call that says, hey, I don't want to train with you or what have you, you should be updating your Thumbtack profile, your Bark. You should be updating your Google ads and really try to hit the ground running because you have no idea if it's going to take a week or 2 months to fill that slot that you've now lost. Because,
Yeah,
yeah, you might find clients pretty quick, but to fill that specific slot in your schedule, that might take a little while. And that might mean that you have less revenue for a prolonged period of time because the only time you have available is 5 a.m. It's like, well, it's an oddly specific time to find a client for, right?
yeah,
I mean, what are your thoughts in I have this slot open. Well, now I
yeah.
need to go fill it.
So, af if you meet 10 people, 10 potential clients, every one of those 10 potential clients is going to give you a different time period that they want to work
Yes.
out. So to fill a specific time model is one of the toughest things. Like when your schedule's full, like that is really tough to do. It's almost like you want to do exactly what you're doing, which is allocate toward that time towards something else. Either building a meal plan, give something like find some time to give back to your current clients, keep the ones that you have happy, refigure out some programming, do some updates with Bark or but for somebody like me, like I've definitely got more hours I can have a little bit open right now. Um, I've been kind of like sitting back a little bit in the last couple weeks just because I knew this trip was coming up. And July is typically a slower month for a little bit of lead gen because a lot of people are traveling for the fourth. But second, third week in July is like heavy push, especially coming up on August. August is one of the biggest months. So
Yes.
to be prepped for that and make sure that I'm coming up with either a couple small group of class program options, maybe coming up with a 6 week challenge, like having something prepped and ready to go. That's going to be my focus. And it's going to be first marketing to the people that are already a part of my schedule, and then to my classes, and then to the general population of the gym I'm currently with.
I like
Your
that.
model of when you're thinking about a personal trainer on their own. Like if I was out on my own, had my own studio or was renting a space, like at the current studio where I got my first client, if I'm thinking about that, well,
So different. So
so
different.
different,
Yeah.
so different than what I'm thinking of because I'm given hours that I can just like clock in and say, hey, I'm gonna do some lead gen on the floor, and somebody else is paying my salary. When you're paying yourself, there ain't no time.
Well,
So,
the other side of that, and let's just remove the financial piece from it, is
mm,
when you're in a big box gym, or we'll say you're in a big gym, you have everyone in the gym that works out at that time that you're trying to fill. They're already there.
yeah,
Like, all right, and there's 5 a.m. is a tough slot to fill because there's only 40 people in the gym. Well, but I know the 40 people that go to this gym that I'm training at that would fill that slot. So, yeah, I only have 40 people to choose from, but it's going to be one of the 40. So,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get hunting. But yeah, when you're by yourself, it's such a different thing, and there's a almost a scarcity that kind
Yeah.
of starts to bleed into your head a little bit of like, will I ever get it filled? Well, what if my bills start adding up? Like some of these conversations, especially with younger trainers who, when they lose a client, well, this might be the first big client they've ever lost. And like
Yeah.
how to navigate that and to see bills start to pile up and start to notice that, oh, that fund money is no longer there anymore. Ooh,
Hmm.
that's a scary, scary, scary place to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of my scariest things about thinking about entrepreneurship. That's why you have a lot of things on the back end. You have back end products that are supposed to be kind of like your fillers. Whether that's endorsements, whether that's revenue coming from a small group training or, having it coming from classes. If you're a gym owner, being able to have that revenue versus relying on a lot of the external revenue like product sales or, different events. So there's got to be something on the back end, something small that you're also selling. So my personal self, I'm trying to work on is trying to finding some of those back end options. Um, eventually, so when I start moving out into the area of my own training, so I use a hip band and tension bands, so I'm working on getting my own products for that. And then I'm gonna work on getting a workout booklet for that with videos on YouTube, subscribable. I'm getting all of that
Yeah.
kind of pushed on and slowly and developing. So that way, in a year's time, when I'm ready to kind of really go out and launch on my own, wada bing, I've got some back end to kind of fall on. I'm hoping to have a big following for that. And then, not hoping, I know I'll be driven enough to have that because I'll be doing more production with
Speak it
videos.
into existence, son.
Yeah, like I'm not too worried. And at the same time, here's the funniest thing. If by all God's will, I'm still at a point where I couldn't be ready to launch and I'm still in a state of fear, there's always just working at a box gym and I know I can excel there. Like that's like there's a constant salary option that's just right there and available. Is that just like is that what I want to do forever? No. Am I damn good at it? Yeah.
Dude,
It
I
ain't
love
hard.
that. I love that mindset because that was my exact mindset when I left Lifetime was, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. We're gonna see what it does. Worst
Yeah.
case scenario, one, I know Lifetime would accept me back in a heartbeat, but two,
Oh
I can
yeah.
go to any one of Lifetime's competitors and I know I got a job. And yeah, I hated it, but
Yeah.
I knew I could do it and I could do it relatively successfully. So there was something to fall back to. That's good
Right.
though. It takes the rush out of it, doesn't it?
It does. It does very well. But man, I mean, that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, we can dive into that at a later one because I do
Yeah.
want to put a little bit of a bow on top of what to do and how to navigate this situation because I know just with the trainers that I consult with, it's so scary and terrifying when you feel that go away because you really do feel like it's never coming back, even though
Right.
it's like all right, you and I have been through the this kind of roundabout enough times that yeah, even your biggest clients are going to leave you. We know it, but I'm going to find someone to replace them. Like it is. It's kind of like blunt as that is. Like you will find someone to replace every one of your clients. That's just
Yeah.
it's a fact of life.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really not worth worrying over in the initial part because people will see desperation. Um, and desperation
Huge.
doesn't often lead to success. Often it's when you just have a strong belief, strong product, you're relaxed, things will often guide their way into your path or, come into your life just naturally. The more that you aggressively search something, like let's take this in the stance of relationships, right? They always say like if you are aggressively looking for somebody, you're never going to find them. So same thing when it comes to even the marketing sense. Just push out what you think is right. If you feel like, yeah, hey, I want to put more energy towards here, put my energy towards there. If your budget's feeling a little light and you feel like you need to be out on the floor, go be on the floor, go help some people. Like my thing, what works for me is a lot of people see when I'm on the gym floor, like let's say I'm there at the gym for 3 hours and I only have three clients in the day. When I'm on the gym floor, I'm in tune with those clients. I work out on my own and then I head out. I don't do any lollygagging, even if it's a 4 hour workday and I'm there. But if I am there for 6 hours and I have 3 hours of lead gen, I'm on the floor, I'm engaging with people, and I'm looking for somebody to just talk to. And I'm very highly involved and highly focused. So it's when you have the time available and you're going to use that time for any type of associating this energy towards what you're trying to fill for the gap, it's to be 100% involved in that. And then go piss off if you're not.
There's never a free hour. There's only time that you're not using, right? That's so true. And I completely agree with that. But anyway, so we're talking about how people navigate losing clients and how to kind of go about that mindset. And Tyler's over there apparently taking flash photography, which I'm having a lot of fun with.
Look, I'm taking a
He's
photo of a
apparently
photo.
found the camera from Austin Powers. If you know, you know.
Oh my God, that's such a great thing. Yes, yes, no, no, no. Dude, I love that. Austin Powers is one of my favorite movies. That and
That's
Ace
great.
Ventura. Yeah.
Oh, Ace Ventura. That's a solid one.
Oh,
But
dude, that's literally the name of my phone. Okay. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That's my name of my phone.
fantastic movie. If you've not seen that because you're 5 years old, you should definitely circle back and watch that. It is worth it. And
Totally
the
fine.
Miami Dolphins suck. But anyway, Ace Ventura Pet Detective 2 was also awesome.
Okay.
Was that the second one they did the Miami Dolphins thing?
No, that was the first one.
That was the first one? Was the second one where he's in Africa?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got them flipped up. Okay.
Yeah, you
Well,
totally got him flipped up.
no, well,
Bases
I'm
is
focused on training
Einhorn.
people.
Einhorn is bases. Einhorn is.
All right.
Oh my God.
I want to kind of give people some way forward in terms of, all right, I've lost clients. I'm not someone that has businesses that can afford them losing clients. I'm not someone that's in a big box gym where they are the top dog. Like, let's just say this guy's in their first year. He's got maybe 20 hours to his name, which is a decent schedule. But yeah, you definitely notice when you lose to hours from that. What does that guy do? I mean, what would you do in that situation if you had a guy in your club that was that way, that was new-ish and lost a client?
So here's what I would do from a managerial perspective. If I was going to be a manager at telling this person came to me and was like, "Hey, I'm looking to do more clients." Be like, all right, cool. Here's a call list. If you don't have a call list, let's look at new memberships. If you don't have new memberships, you don't have any ideas, let's go talk to membership. Let's go to talk, find the first 30 signups. You're going to send them an email offering them a free session so that way you can
Hey,
get
bud.
them in front of you.
Anyway, sending out emails and from a managerial standpoint, how you navigate that.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you. Um, So yeah, okay. So if I was going to be in the manager, I would ask him, find a call list, go to membership, go find people that you can get in front of you, shadow other trainers that you possibly for those hours. You're a new trainer, so you'd still go back, just basically go back to route one. Everything that you did initially to find new clients, that's the say all, does all, works all every single time. Talk to people inside of the realm that you're working with. Ask for any references, like, hey, I have these open hours. Do you know anybody who's looking for training? Don't feel ashamed to be asking for that, right? These are people that already they are with you. They agree with your training style. They will praise you. That's going to be your biggest lead gen, your biggest sales that you could ever do is have them be your marketer. I've had one client, her name's Jennifer. She has gotten me literally three clients just from classes who have just come to me because they said she raves about you. You get these people that just rave about you, or even like, hey, you mind posting something on your social media page? Like, hey, like if you want to post a photo with me or just like a video with yourself of just like, hey, this is my trainer. He's got these, he'd love to have you in. He's got some open availability, a free hour if you're interested. Highly recommended. Like they are your biggest marketing point. Use them.
That's huge, dude. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't think I've leveraged up asking clients to post on social media for me. That's
Mm,
always been something where I've always just kind of left to be something that automatically happens, which is horrible. Like that is the worst mindset to have as a business owner is I'm just going to wait around for it to happen.
yeah,
So like that, I like that. That's something I'm going to implement coming up. Is just like, hey, do you guys mind like putting something out on your social media? Like, I mean, I would greatly appreciate it. Like just being, I don't want to say like, uh, hat in hand, kind of just like, hey, can you help me out? But I do think people respond really well to genuinely asking them, hey,
yeah,
I would greatly appreciate it, and my business would, if you could help me out by doing this. And if someone likes your training, they're going to
yeah.
do it with a smile, be more than happy. That's good advice, man. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I had a fellow trainer of mine ask me to boost one of his posts and like, hey, can you repost this for me? And I did it without an instant. Like,
Done.
it doesn't matter. It's just social media. To me, it's a small part of my life. If people on my social media page want to judge me or anything like that, I don't really care.
Who
Like,
cares?
I used to. It used to be a thing like when I was like maybe 18 or 17 or like in my early 20s, like social media meant everything to me. Now, if somebody's be like, you know what, this and that on your social media page, I'd be like, too bad. Like, ah, I go
It's
ahead
like
and
that
wipe that
guy
off
that
my favorite.
commented on my post talking about how I need to speak in my what was it? Not Minecraft. It was another one of those like hip. Oh my God, I'm fucking old. Um,
Okay.
no, it's just like I think sometimes people take social media so seriously, but kind of back to the original point,
Yeah.
clients are your best tools for that.
Mhm.
And to kind of go back to what worked before, I think in I want to say it's just generally in military, they have a process where whenever they go to do a mission, they go back out the exact same way they came in. Because why go into the unknown? When you have a business, why try to reinvent the wheel? You already know what got you some success. Go
Yeah.
back to the known. Don't all of a sudden decide, you know what? Now is going to be the time that I figure out TikTok ads.
Yeah.
No, do that once you have the client and there's not a need. When you have a need, no, to just go back to doing what you were doing before. If it worked then, it will probably work again. Dude,
Yeah.
that's good advice.
And people know my hustle and people see me on the gym floor. So when I'm working, like I'm 100% locked in with the client. Or if I'm working out, I'm pushing myself to the next limit. You know, like I'm not socializing too much as far as like around the gym. So when I set up a booth and I sit down for a second, which happens like rarely now, but when I sit down and I lead gen for 2 hours and I just sit there and I have a board that says coach trainer, open hour, ask me questions. Literally, that's it. Just super simple. And I just put up a big board. I sit there, do my programming out. I every single time I get about 5 lead gen appointments, booked assessments. Everybody else who does that, who's taken off of my atmosphere because they do the boothing with no intention. Their intention is like, I'm gonna go out there and sit and wait for people to come to me. They're like, I don't know why it works for you. It's like, well, it works for me because not only am I doing this, but when somebody does walk by and they even look over for a half second, I'm not just sitting down on my computer and going, "Hey, how are you?" It's, "Hey, what's up? How was your workout?" Like immediately engaging the moment I can even catch their eye. I'm looking for 100% engagement. I'm going to pull them towards me. I'm going to stand up and introduce myself, shake their hand, step around the table, and be right there in front of them. And if they have any question at all, be like, "Oh, like I was trying to figure out where my shoulders like this. Oh, great. Take a seat. Let me look at that." And I'm just going to direct their focus and take control and lead them to what's going to push them in front of me. I'm not going to let it just be like, oh, well, next time you're around, why don't you come and find me? Because they're not. Like
No,
you're setting
that'll
expectations. That person
that'll
will never come
happen
back.
one out of 100 people you talk to. Like, hey, yeah, next time you see me on the gym floor, come say hi, dude. You're gonna be broke. You're not gonna have a single client. Like,
Yeah,
and I like that a lot because you're not treating it like an open hour. You're treating it as, oh, I have an hour that I'm not training someone. I'm going to do lead gen. It's an action. It's something that you have an expected outcome, which is I need to book lead gen sessions out of this versus, yeah, I sit at the booth. What do you do? I sit at the booth. I don't think that's going to work, bud. Damn.
yeah. It's like my first day, and I'll always revert back to this. I'll never do something twice that didn't generate success. So the first day I ever worked at the gym, I sat at the front counter, I folded towels, I helped out the front desk. I talked to people as they rotated in. They said, "Hey, you look like a new trainer. Are you new here? Hi, good, bye." Nothing booked, nothing happened. I've never been at the front desk since that day.
Oh, I don't think the front desk works. At least
Nothing
in
there.
my experience, personally, and trying for a period of time to get people to make it successful. Yeah, that was another one of my chapters at Lifetime of like, let's see if we can make something work. No,
Yeah.
no, it
Your
does
only
not.
best option for front desk work, which the only way I've ever seen it working is if you're promoting a class or project and you're in front of the front desk and you're standing where people come in and you can greet them. Can't be behind the counter. Nothing happens from behind the counter. Behind a counter, you're just the desk boy. You don't
Yep,
matter. There's space in between us. I can walk away. When
yep.
I am in front of you and I'm standing here close into your proximity, now it is rude as shit to just turn a corner and walk away from me. I
One of
blocked
the
you.
best. No, it's true. But one of the
Yeah,
best things I've seen with lead gen has always just been, hey, what are you doing for your workout? Oh, I don't know. Well, hey, I'm a trainer. I got a free hour. I would love to help you.
yeah.
Want to hang out? And just do that on repeat. And eventually someone will go, shit, I actually don't have a plan. Yeah, let's just get a workout in, bud. And try to essentially generate things like that. But I'm with you on it. Sitting behind the desk isn't going to work. And being out in front and actually being engaging, not just passively sitting there fishing, is going to make all the difference for people.
You know what I really love? Because I really love doing this. And this is why I'll work for somebody for free for the first session. I love blowing people's minds.
Yep.
Like I love it. Like I had this dude today that was just an assessment. I booked him because he's like, oh, I just want to get a good shoulder workout. I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, he's like, I'm not sure if I'm looking for a trainer. I'm like, I don't really care. Like we can work for an hour, whether you want to work with me after that or not. It really doesn't matter to me. But let me show you what I got. And then if you want to continue, we can always talk about that. Otherwise, let's just have some fun. And so he's like, oh, I really want to get my shoulders stronger, and I can't figure out why. I'm like, all right, great. I'm gonna take a look at your lats. And he was just like, what? Because everything that he was doing for any of his shoulder actions, he consistently would be up here. He's also a father to a couple of newborns, so he's
Ah,
always in a shrugged position.
yep.
So he was experiencing a lot of pain in his trapezius and his neck. So I had him working on really loading his lower lats and really just pulling downwards and just activating his lats. And then at the end of it, I was like, now I want you to go back to just doing dumbbell press. I don't want you doing straight press. You've got an issue with your shoulder. You don't need to do military press with the bar. Just go with the dumbbells, go to a seated position. I want you to do this. And he, without me really cueing, pulled down his lats as he pressed. And I was like, do you notice anything different? He goes, dude, there's like no pain. I'm like, voila,
Well, I'll see
voila,
you on
voila.
Monday, twice a week.
Yeah, he's like, dude, like this has been amazing. Like I really learned a lot today. And he had worked with a trainer before. He like confessed that with me. He's like, dude, I've worked with a trainer before. Like this was definitely a whole different experience. You really know what you're doing. I've got kids. We just moved here. Things are kind of up. And so I'm just like, yeah, dude, I don't need to hear all that. But like when you want to work together, let me know. I'll be here. And he's like, dude, I definitely will. So that's
That's
a
someone
client
that'll
for the
probably
future.
circle back. Yeah, that's definitely someone who will probably circle back. And he
Yeah.
just might require a couple more touch points, right? Because most often than not, one touch point isn't going to be sufficient to get someone to want to purchase with you. Because you think about it, I mean, what, twice a week? That's going to
Yeah.
be $800 at minimum. Like that's a lot of money for the average person to commit to someone that they've known for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dude, that's awesome, man. I love that the your favorite thing is to blow someone's mind when you first meet them. Dude,
Yeah.
that's huge. For me,
Oh yeah.
it's I love when someone feels that it's can't be helped, that they are
Mm.
too old, too broken, too this, that, or the other thing. This is just what it is now. I just want to lose like 5, 10 pounds and, in whatever. It's like, well, we could lose 10 pounds, or do you want to lose like 40? Like, what do you want to do? And to like see them eventually get that hope in their eyes that like, oh, I can actually still go do things. And to
Yeah,
be, and this might just be my ego talking, but to be the reason why they had now have hope for the thing that they want to do is,
nice,
oh my God, that's so gratifying.
dude. Beautiful, beautiful. Couldn't say it any better myself.
Love
Yeah,
it, bud.
it is. It's nice to see that eye-opening experience. This is us. This is us. This is why we know that our schedules are always going to be whether people drop off 3 clients for you, two twice a week clients drop off this week for me. I'm not scared because I know I'm going to go out there. I know I'm going to go help people. My budget might be a little bit lower. It's all right.
Yeah,
Don't bug me. No harm. No hard.
love
I'm
it.
going to go out and live my passion.
So, gotta put a wrap up on it. Guys, you're going to lose clients. It's not always going to be fun. It's not always going to happen in ideal times. Always plan ahead. Understand that there will be slow times, there will be busy times. You will get a lot of clients in some phases of your career, and you're going to get few clients in some phases of your career, and that is okay. So long as you're doing the right things and you're being active with how you're going about acquiring clients, success will always come. It just might not come along in your time frame, but that is okay so long as you're actively working at it. But guys, I hope you found this episode helpful. I know it can be scary. Business is tough. And trust me, I went through the emotional rabbit hole, as I'm sure Tyler did as well.
Yeah.
You guys can get through this. Follow these steps. Comment down below on whatever platform you're on what it is you guys would like to see us talk about next. We'll be on TikTok live or potentially even YouTube live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Monday. We love you guys. We'll catch you here in the next one. Cheers. Tyler, also say hi because I went on a long rant there and they can't have my face be the last one.
So your face is the best one to be the last one. I got some weird mustache thing going on. Cheers.
Little Pedro mustache. All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Love you.